So today I want to talk about supplements and what supplements I take, what I think about supplements in general, and maybe what supplements I don't like too much. So off the top of my head, the supplements I take pretty religiously are magnesium, zinc, and creatine. And besides that, I don't really take a lot of other supplements. I'll take vitamin D actually a couple times a week. Just like whenever I remember, I'll just take like low-key a lot. But besides that, I pretty much try to just eat like generally healthy. I eat too much ice cream, that's for sure. But besides that, my diet's honestly really healthy. So I like magnesium and zinc because they help with my sleep. And this is kind of the thesis I have around supplements, is that they're a means to an end. They're not the end, you know what I mean? So when it comes to something like magnesium is a good supplement because it helps you sleep. And sleep is, I think, it's not underrated, honestly, because everyone knows that sleep is good for you. So it's not that it's like actually underrated at all. Everyone knows it's good, but a lot of people are bad at sleeping and getting to sleep. And some people genuinely need to sleep less, or they just don't need to sleep as much. That's probably a better way to put it. But I'm definitely not one of those people. Maybe it's because I'm 19, I'm still kind of growing or something. I'm training hard. But if 8 hours of sleep is barely enough for me. Some nights I only get 8 hours for whatever reason, but I really try to get 10 hours every night. And I definitely don't get 10 hours every night, but that's definitely a goal. You know what I mean? It's in the same way it might be like, I need to get like 200 grams of protein a day. I'm like, okay, I need to try to start winding down early. And magnesium really helps with that. Magnesium and zinc specifically, when they're together, it like makes magnesium work better or something, I don't know. Magnesium, I take about 1 gram a night. I've messed around with 2 grams, and I think it's just too much for me. I end up waking up kind of groggy. And on the days that 2 grams works well, it works really well and I sleep great. But a night to night, kind of like from what I've noticed, I am much more a fan of at most like 1.5 grams, really more around 1 gram. And I have this one supplement that has zinc in it. It also has some selenium. It's kind of just like probably like a testosterone supplement or something, I don't know. But nothing that crazy, and it's just like zinc and selenium. And it has just over 100% of like the RDA for zinc and selenium. So I don't know how much zinc that is, but it's enough for me to actually kind of feel it. It takes about 2 hours for that to kick in, so I'll usually take that 2 hours before whenever I want to go to sleep. And it definitely makes me feel more relaxed and helps me fall asleep. And yeah, honestly, I just feel so much better. I think everyone kind of has a variable, an outside of the gym variable, that is more important to them. And for me, sleep is just that variable. I can go, days on lower calories, but sleep is just something that's kind of a non-negotiable for me. And that's just something that I've found personally. The next supplement I really like is creatine. And I have a unique perspective on creatine that most people aren't going to provide. I've taken creatine on and off since I was like 13. And for a while when I was younger, I didn't really notice anything. When I was doing Olympic lifting and I was training high, like very frequently, heavy weights all the time, multiple sessions a day, the creatine actually made my joints feel better. And I don't actually know why that is, but this is my bro science reason, is that because it makes you kind of hold like a little more water, my joints are just like more lubricated. I don't know if that's true at all. Maybe it's just that it helps recovery and stuff like that, but I've just noticed that my joints feel better when I take creatine. And that's just something that I've noticed, really. Like, that's all it is. I don't know exactly why, just my joints feel better when I take creatine, and that is dope. I like having joints that feel good. Besides that, it's definitely good for, I think, specifically upper body strength. I think it has more of an impact on that. I don't know if that's actually true. These are just things that I've heard. But in general, creatine is just something that's really useful for the human body. ATP synthesis is I mean, that's really just like one of like the main fuels for like all the cells, right? I mean, I don't know biology that well, but ATP is the shit. So yeah, take your creatine. It's also good for your brain. I'm in college. I'm trying to have a smart brain. It's good for your. I mean, you just like really can't find reasons to not take creatine. I feel like sometimes you might get some like stomach issues if you take too much. I noticed that when I started it, and when I don't take creatine, I definitely have like some crazy shits. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the benefits outweigh the cons dramatically. If anything, it just forces me to eat more fiber, which is good, because fiber is very good for you. And those are really like the two supplements that I kind of think about when I'm talking about supplements, like the supplements I really take. Okay, so there's actually a couple supplements that I forgot to talk about. I hope that my driving isn't too loud or whatever. I hope that I have my window down a little bit because it's cold and shit. But there's 3 supplements that I forgot to mention. And the first one's bee pollen. The second one's garlic. And the third one is protein, kind of. And then I could throw in a fourth one on there, ginger. But I don't really like ginger that much anymore, and I'll explain that later. So this is gonna be a way longer video than I thought, but that's fine. I'd rather have a good like long video for supplements, because I think that there's like a lot of unnecessary stuff basically when it comes to supplements. But what I think is that garlic is one of the best supplements you could take. It definitely helps your immune system 100%. It gives you crazy pumps, and it's just good for you. It's good for your heart. Allicin, which is the main like thing in garlic, like the active ingredient or whatever, is so good for like your blood pressure and just like keeping your blood moving well. It's good for erections. It's good for basically everything. It gives you good pumps, which is cool. So if you combine that with some citrulline, some gorilla mode, you'll have some nasty pumps, which are always cool. And the garlic pumps are different. I don't know how to explain it. They're just different. So I really like garlic. If you want to make yourself not smell from eating it's raw garlic, by the way. If you want to make yourself not smell bad from eating raw garlic, because what I'm talking about, I was having like 10 cloves a day at one point. I don't do that anymore. I'll just have like a couple, because I've noticed like I used to have like a harder time getting a pump when I was fat, but now it's easier, and my pumps look cooler anyway because I'm leaner. But the easiest thing to do is to dice it up. I don't usually use a garlic press because you end up wasting a lot of garlic, but dice it up and mix it with salt, and then you can kind of make like a paste with it. And then you just like put some on your meals. Like if you have like steak and rice or something, just like throw a tablespoon of garlic on there or something. And then eventually like you'll learn to like the taste. Yeah, it just like tastes really good too. After I've like, at first, honestly, I don't think I liked it. I don't remember when I first did garlic, but if you want to let it sit out too a little bit. Don't just like chew it. I mean, you can, honestly. I don't know how much it actually like maybe detracts from it, but you really should probably be letting it sit for like 5-ish minutes, because at worst it'll just take longer to eat it, and because allicin concentration doesn't like diminish for like 24 hours, so you're fine. The next supplement, bee pollen. I used to get, and I still do if I don't take it for like a week or two, my nose will just like be running sometimes or be sniffly or whatever. Kind of like allergies. I guess it's just allergies. I don't know. But I never really had allergies. So it was something I just noticed last year. And I started taking bee pollen and literally just like went away. And I got the idea from natural hypertrophy with the bee pollen. And honestly, I don't really have much else to say about it. It's just like, I haven't gotten sick at all this year. So ever since I started taking it, ever since I really started cutting, I haven't gotten sick. So like, that's great. Even if it doesn't like increase your testosterone or whatever, these little things like not getting sick once a month or once every 3 months or whatever, having better sleep, they directly are good for performance. If you get sick for a day or two, it might throw off your training cycle, and then you kind of like lose your momentum. It's just not good. It could take like, a week or two to kind of get back to where you were. Another thing is protein powder. I don't really use protein powder, but what I do use sometimes is like the Fairlife protein shakes if my mom buys them. And I don't love protein shakes, especially with like the nitrogen inflation or whatever it's called. Makes me a little weary of it. If I was going to believe a protein brand though, it would be Fairlife, since they like have this crazy thing they do with their milk where they like split it up into like 7 parts and then just reportion it. So that's why milk is the only ingredient, is because it's kind of true, I guess. If you've ever noticed that, like their protein shakes don't say whey on them or anything, it just says milk. So I've gone through periods of drinking like 2 Fairlifes a day, like the 42 grams one. And yeah, I feel like they work fine. I don't know. I think you should eat real food, but if you're in a pinch and you need some protein, drink a protein shake. If it doesn't mess with your digestion, that's good too. And ginger being the next supplement, dude, they're not really like supplements, but at least some of these aren't really supplements, but I would view it as kind of a supplement, I guess. It's close enough. Ginger is objectively good for you, and it's good for your digestion and your stomach. And I really like ginger. The reason I don't take it anymore is because it helped me gain a lot of weight, because I would just digest food really fast and be hungry, and it would like make me not bloated and stuff. So if you have issues with digesting your food or you want to eat more, ginger could be the move. Even like some candied ginger or something could be good. And that's kind of a secret bulking tip, is just candy stuff. Make like candied nuts and shit like that. But yeah, I really like ginger actually, and it makes me feel good. It just makes me too hungry now. Like if I eat ginger, if I ate ginger right now, I would be hungry in like an hour, and that's just not something that I need right now, since I'm not trying to bulk. Maybe small amounts of ginger could be beneficial to add in, and I might experiment with that, just for, it's good to have a healthy digestive system. It just makes you feel good, honestly. That's really what I've noticed. It just makes my stomach feel good. But yeah, I haven't been taking it as much because I'm not bulking. So to conclude, I just want to make sure you guys remember that supplements are a means to an end, and they're not the end. So they're really just something to facilitate what you're doing. So having good sleep, eating well, sleeping well. I don't know why I said it like that. I meant to say having good sleep, eating well, and training hard. That's like the 3 pillars of success in lifting, if you ask me. You need to train, when I say hard, you need to train hard, but like beneficially hard. I don't know, I can make a video on that too, because just because you're doing hard things doesn't mean it's actually going to help you. So you need to find, how to be the most efficient and then also work really hard, which is, it's a hard line to grasp, and that's why I think a lot of people, they could just work harder to kind of hit that. Sleep well, eat well. You don't even need to have a good diet, or like you don't even need to have a perfect diet. You just need to have a decent diet. Eat a decent amount of protein, eat a decent amount of carbs, eat a normal amount of fat. Have your electrolytes. Really, like, this stuff's not that complicated. Like, I think everyone knows how to eat well. Don't do carnivore. Don't be vegan. Especially if you're a teenager, just eat normal. I'm not fully against those diets, but there's a reason that not everyone's vegan or carnivore. Just eat normally and experiment with that stuff when you're a little older is what I'd recommend. Have fun. These things are way more important than supplements. Supplements, they're that last 5%. Supplements don't really make up for anything. and you gotta put in the work and you gotta be able to achieve things without them for them to actually really be useful. So yeah, I don't really have a whole lot more to say on supplements, but they're just that last checkbox, you know what I mean? So keep training hard, guys. Keep working hard. You'll probably benefit from training a little harder than you think you should. There's an issue with undertraining, not an issue with overtraining. You probably are not overtraining. So, yeah, that's all I got to say. Thank you, and that's the video.